Poducer.
Yeah.
Check. You got a good scream.
Yeah, I have to like smoke first and then like warm it up a little bit
Gets
for
a little-
like 20
little
minutes.
raspy,
I
yeah.
just scream like fucking emo shit from like 2010. Not even emo shit. It's just straight up like metalcore. But yeah, I got really into like the deep guttural growls. And actually, are we recording?
Yeah, we probably are. But
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Whatever. Doesn't matter. I'm just gonna riff off the cuff.
No. There's no way to start. Don't even.
Oh,
act
we
like-
just do it.
Yeah, like.
All right, cool. Yeah,
you don't even have to like. We're not even recording. Like, let's
I
just-
mean, this is literally just me. Anytime I have like a sip of beer and like a joint, I just go. But
yeah. Hell yeah.
when I first started, I actually learned a lot of shit, like music-wise genres, like through MySpace, and got into a bunch of weird shit from A-Track, Armin van Helden to Broken Side to August Burns Red, fucking anything in between, and I actually somehow found myself like producing like break beats and like house music at first, and a lot of my friends were like in the metal scene and stuff, and they see me DJ a bunch and like do the whole producer thing, so like, yo, come do that for us. I was like, all right, cool. We were like 16, 17. The band was called The Great I Am. We were from Cicero, and yeah, just being with them all the time, and like also doing photography and videography for metal events. Just got really into the genre itself and like the lifestyle. And one thing that really like stuck out to me was the vocals, the guttural growls and the high pitched screams. That actually 2010 translated in my mind into the bass manipulation in dubstep. And so from there I just jumped straight over, because to me dubstep was breakdowns and just robot screaming.
Right.
And then there was a weird time where like I was really trying to push like metal and dubstep together.
Yeah.
And then I discovered Big Chocolate. He's still around.
That sounds so familiar.
He's still around,
yeah.
but like I remember this is very specific to like how it all started.
It's for the producers, dude.
I went to Warped Tour
Oh yeah.
a bunch, and my very last one, he was actually there doing a DJ set and doing signings and shit. And I was just like, yo, this is perfect. This guy's literally doing like Asking Alexandria, Bring Me to Horizon, fucking Chelsea Grin remixes, or just straight dubstep shit. I'm just like, fire. So I went, met the dude, gave him a bunch of my tracks and like mixes, and he's like, yo, this shit's fire. And it kind of just like, the idea grew more and more. So like between the metal scene, the dubstep stuff, I also simultaneously got into beatboxing. So I started just using that guttural growl for everything. So like,
Do you add that into the tracks? I hope.
not yet.
Dude, you have
Not yet.
to.
So like that's been in the making for fucking years, and I actually have never beatboxed on a microphone like realistically, even though I have like homies like Jam One who do it professionally.
Yeah.
Within the last 4 or 5 years, I just kind of played with the idea, but I've never really actually put it in production just yet. Actually, me and Kiefer, we do have my voice.
Shout out Kiefer Ian.
That's the boy. We actually are working on a track now where it's a little bit of everything. It's UKG straight up, but add some turntablism, add some of my beatboxing to it, and that literally is the first track that has my vocal kind of like beatboxing. So like that's gonna be fun. We're almost done with that.
Nice.
Amadee's like, yo, I need that track. I'm like, dude,
I'm gonna need that track too.
it's like 6 months in the making. Like we see each other like once a month because our lives are so busy. But yeah, it all comes full circle, like between beatboxing, old hip hop shit that I was doing, breakdancing, the metal scene, electronica. So like
we got a lot. I got a lot of questions for you. Like we got a lot to talk about.
we do. So I think
you can light up, and if you want to throw the headphones on, we've never not done headphones, but you know, whatever you want.
Oh, I know. Headphones were cool, but the triple voices were freaking me out for a second.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, oh, shit.
When it plays back for the test. Yo, Mace, do you mind turning him down very slightly?
Got it.
Thank you.
Can you turn down the audio in my headphones a little bit?
Yeah.
Thank you, Mace.
And do we have an ashtray?
It's a good question. Here, let's just do this.
I mean, I can just chug my beer, but
How's that?
yeah, that's way
Chilling?
better.
Is this
Yeah,
good?
that's perfect. Put that over here.
Word, dude. Well, I have bookmarked in my head a bunch of things. But, we can start out in a very simple way, which is, who are you?
I'm Gio Garcia. I born and raised Chicago, certified weird kid that makes bangers, and I just want to put the Band-Aid over the city of Chicago and bridge the gap between literally every different scene, between the techno snobs, footwork kids, top 40 guys, shit, the metal boys, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's just support each other and try to see how far we can all get, how far we can get in the music industry together.
Yeah.
And me being an only child and kind of mostly been raised by media, I just have these crazy ideas and just different like backgrounds of what I believe should be done within music, media, culture, community. And it's crazy because I feel nomadic because I'm in so many different scenes and so many different interests that it's kind of hard to just stick to one. And like, you can actually see that within my DJ sets. I almost never DJ just one genre. Like it's
Good ass DJ, by
you.
the way. Yo,
Thank-
Nomadic is a cool name, too. Just saying. I don't know if you introduced your name, Initial G, either, but
I didn't.
that is what this man goes by.
Yeah, Gio Garcia, aka Initial G, baby. Actually, when I came up with that name, it was a rebranding from my first moniker, which was E-Rock 69.
Party Boy 69.
Party Boy 69, basically. But on the south side, I was part of this crew called Second City, and they did a lot of footwork music, a Jersey club, Chicago house, this real underground south side shit. And they seen me do a couple shows, like straight electro, dubstep, none of the ghetto shit yet. And they're like, yo, come through. I was like, all right, but. And I just remember at the time I was the one guy on like a roster of like 9 DJs who were amazing DJs that only did like dubstep, and we're on the south side, like I'm talking Pulaski and 55th type of vibe. And 2010, 2011, and I'm in this show, there's like 1,000 people there, and like they're all just grinding, juking real Chicago shit. And I pull up with some like Sweet Shop Dr. P and like some Skrillex and a bunch of shit, and they're just like, what is this? And it was just like my ass was like sweating, dog. I'm just like so I threw some DJ funk simultaneously on that and just started mixing like footwork, ghetto house vocals into dubstep, and then everyone's just like, oh, okay, cool, this works.
You bridged the divide.
In like real time, like I was just like, fuck, what do I do? They're not moving.
Yeah.
And so that was like how I started E-Rock 69, which is like the dubstep brainchild that I had, and I kind of just ran its course. And once I matured a little bit more and got a little more different taste, I was just like, yo, I'm rebranding, fuck this. I left dubstep like 2012. I was just like, nah, I'm good. I used to produce a bunch of it, and I just wasn't getting the results that I wanted, and plus the scene was like really like changing a lot around me.
It was, yeah, for sure.
From that time to where it is now.
Now it's way better.
I'm seeing. I'm actually like, I've been fucking around with the dubstep kids a little bit recently, and it's been interesting because 2023 I officially saw a dubstep / footwork show at Lore. DJ Hank, Sam Binga, Edison Groove, Toya Koya, fucking. That literally like recently just changed everything for me in terms of like what I believe is possible. And then we do the primary show, opened up for Hamdi.
Yeah, dude, that looked lit.
It was so fun. I actually was like, when I got that message from Swamp Woofer, I was actually at my grandfather's funeral. And it was just crazy because I don't really get booked unless you know me, and like these people didn't know me, so I was just like, oh, this is cool, I'll fuck with this. And I pulled up and I'm expecting to do like hear like, you know, dubstep opening, you know, some harder shit or whatever. I pull up and DJ Scari's playing Footwork and I'm just like, the fuck? And I was just like, yo, I just felt right at home. I was just like, yo, let's do this. And proceeded to do like a UKG Footwork jungle set. And yeah, just an overall like 2023 has changed a lot for me in terms of the genre dubstep, left field bass, and like club music. So I like where it's going, and it kind of like sums up to like all the experiences that I had growing up within like the music community. And I'm just really happy that I don't feel as alone anymore.
Yeah. Well, they're all I feel like people that have been in electronic music for a while now, like they kind of listen to everything. I mean, you got your snobs, right? But like over the years, there's just been like, I started with dubstep and it feels like dubstep's coming back now, or is back. It's honestly like full flex.
Yeah, it's like phase 3 right now. I just feel like a new revival in dubstep, and like obviously there's different genres, subgenres within the larger broad category, but I like specifically like a lot of the stuff coming out of the UK still. Sicaria Sound, fucking all that.
Word.
But yeah, honestly, it's just super cool to see just like that cross pollination and us being able to collaborate with different crews and different folks who share somewhat of the same idea, makes it grow larger, and who knows what it can turn into, you know?
Yeah, for sure, dude. Well, I kind of want to bring it back home for a sec, which I always start out with the same question, which is, what was your first concert?
Oh,
but doesn't have to be electronic.
Yeah, no, I'm literally trying to think what my first concert was. So
Also, Mace, just double checking we're recording in OBS. Okay, thank you. I have to do that.
You're good. My first concert was actually a metal show that one of my friends was playing at. It's this little venue in Berwyn called the Nightlight. It was a Christian-run venue, and they allowed like non-Christian metal bands to pull through and do shit. And like the bands, it was called In His Honor, and it was ran by Jason. Oh, not Jason wasn't in the band yet, but it started by Adrian Perez. We went to St. Pat's together, and I had left that school and like went to a different school. But then I actually seen him on MySpace. He's like, "Yo, pull up, we're doing this event." I was like, "Oh shit!" And then some of my friends locally were also going, who didn't even know that band. I was just like, all right, cool, let's go. And I just realized like when I pulled up, like this is actually my first concert. I've never been to a concert, and I was literally like 16, 17. I was just like, this is cool. I'm headbanging and shit, just fucking break dance, and I don't know what the fuck to do. I was just like loving it, and I didn't stop at all since then. But in terms of bigger concerts, I want to
first big concert.
My first big concert, fuck. That's a lot to think about right now. 18, fucking.
I mean, you already did the deed. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm literally just trying to think. What was the first fucking thing I went to? I'm such a stoner.
No, man, you're good. You did the thing. We could do first electronic concert if you want.
I mean, yeah. It's still hard to remember for me. There's so many, but I want to say like at that time, I was going to a lot of like these underground raves, like dubstep, DnB centric stuff. But my first like proper like actual production, it was Midnight Conspiracy, The Bottom Lounge with Designer Drugs, 2011, I believe.
Dude, Midnight Conspiracy like was that group that just was all around Chicago.
See, you know what I'm talking about.
I remember my friend did photography for them, but they were just like booked for just every like opening thing, or like, you know, they were just everywhere.
They were, and it was crazy because to me, I still don't believe any of the things that have happened in my life. Like, I'm just like, damn, that really happened. My first like proper concert was theirs at Bottom Lounge. And probably like a year, 2 years later, I was actually signed to this label. I'm working with them. They're called Rage Face Records. It was me and my boy Jerry. We were actually known as Gritty.
Yo, shout out Jerry.
My boy Jerry. Forgot his last name. Shit. But he and I did a dubstep duo called Gritty Filth, and we actually opened up for Midnight Conspiracy at Lincoln Hall. I think 2000.
Cool.
August 2012.
Nice.
It was us, Cinobite, and I'm trying to remember who the fuck the other guy was. Like Wolfpack DJs from back in the day. And that shit was insane. Like, to like go to a show and then just like DJ all these smaller events and kind of just like do the whole like GTA Progress playthrough and like, hey, this is like your first thing, your first achievement. And there's like sold out show at Lincoln Hall. All I remember was being grateful as fuck, trying to get the girl that I liked in on time, like in at the time, and like she was stuck in line because her friend didn't bring an ID. She had a birth certificate. And one of those motherfuckers, I was like, wow. So like they literally had to watch me from the TV and the line outside. And I just remember that night just being all types of hectic. The cherry on top was, I mean, it was a great show. The cherry on top was that it was like pouring rain, like after halfway through their set, and the ceiling collapsed.
What?
The ceiling collapsed at Lincoln Hall, and there was like water coming in.
What?
And so like the show was like stopped, and it was just fucking insane. I'm walking into a puddle. Michael Wings like, yo, what's your name? I need to put it on his check. And I'm just like, did we break the venue?
Dude, what?
Driving home, and like you couldn't go under a viaduct because there was so much water, your car would just stop.
So it was one of those days where it was like a tornado.
It was
or
like
something.
torrential rain.
Yeah.
And like it only happened midway through the show, and it was just the most surreal thing. Like, yo, that shit was heavy, dude.
Yeah. Damn.
But it was just like crazy seeing them for the first time ever, and then finally playing with them.
Yeah,
that was like actually
full circle moment.
One of my first big shows too, and I was just like, yo. And since then, like I just really believe anything's possible as long as you put in the work and show up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And speaking of work, I feel like for the short amount of time that I've known you, I always see you hustling, like throwing out flyers, and I feel like this is a good way to transition into super Shmove and just like, you know, because you're running that and you're doing a lot of shows in the city. Also wanted to ask, how was the Lake Effect show? The Super Shmove. So Super Shmove is a company, or maybe you can explain it better.
It is a company now. We just turned into an LLC.
Hell yeah. Congrats.
Thank you. Super Shmove is my brainchild. 2021 pandemic vibes. I actually was on Twitch a lot. I actually lost my job of 3 years. I was working at Zounds, selling slang and music gear online. And they just let me go during the pandemic. So I was just like, all right, I got all this free time, nothing to do. We're in the fucking house. I'm not going nowhere. So I decided to do Twitch and play video games, doing that shit for like 8 hours a day, 4 days a week. I blew the fuck up really quickly, and I was just like, damn, this is cool. But I also got really bored really quick, and like it's just, I'm not really a huge like active gamer anymore. But I was just like good enough to like get people's attention, become a personality, and like make affiliate. And I was just like, this is cool, but it's not my passion. I should be making music. I should be DJing. I should be utilizing what my real passion is with this platform. And a lot of weird shit happened in between. Met a girl, went to North Carolina. Our relationship was pretty weird. Actually didn't get a chance to work on any music at all. And then we broke up. I stayed out there an extra 2 months by myself. And I just started DJing like at the crib, and my first thought was just like, fuck it, let's do this on Twitch. And so I set it all up, green screen and everything, and it blew up. I was like, damn, okay, cool. Ended up getting a job offer back in Chicago, and got an apartment before I even fucking moved here. And I was like, fuck it, let's go. One of my buddies hit me up, and we were just DJing like every weekend. Like the first gig I came back, I was at Replay in Lincoln Park, and then I was doing Debonair, I was doing Simone's. Like every week it just kept going. So I was like, all right, we're actually doing this, let's just not stop. And I moved back officially March 2022, and by May 2022 Super Shmove was, in my mind, real as fuck. It's already been put on a flyer for the first live stream, and then I put it on the flyer for the actual physical event, which me and my buddy Circus Ant, shout out, he actually helped me get a super sick ass venue. My phone just like going off, my bad, dude.
You're good.
Fucking he helped us get a super sick ass venue, a rooftop in River North, and we threw this party called Double Trouble. It was our very first party. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. Even though I used to throw events on myself way back in the day when I was 18, I kind of just took that same formula and like plugged it back in. But instead of renting out like hookah shops and fucking run down little venues, we're out here just doing DIY like at some random homies like terrace patio crib thing. And it was insane. That first one, we had about 120 people pull up, not expecting a lot of people to pull up, but they did. And before I actually threw the party, I had just started going to events here in Chicago. I was teaming up with my boy Steve Noah, checking him out. Learned a lot about Dark Heaven, my boy Prove, Keith, Seasonal Frequency, and started learning the lay of the land in 2023, you know, or 2022. Yeah. And with like a lot of collaboration from these people like Givens, Prove, Keith, it was made possible. We had Givens do visuals. We had, you know, the homies come through, throw down some sets, and like we went probably from I believe we started like around noon and we ended at 2 a.m. It was fucking insane. And
damn, that's long.
Yeah. And then I was just hype. I was just like, all right, cool. I get to use all the things I've practiced my entire life: photography, videography, graphic design, music, marketing, all of it, just for myself finally. So I'm just like, we're gonna keep doing this. And we did our second party. Actually, it's called Wet Dreams 1 because we just had the second one literally this weekend. But we threw a beach party or like a lake party, and that was super fun too. And like all these random people were pulling up, and it just kind of like went to like a monthly thing, and like it almost became an addiction. I got ADHD and I got it really bad, so like if I like something, I love it and I don't stop. I have hyper focus.
Yeah.
And
until you don't like it anymore,
until I just fucking hate it. Yeah. Hopefully it never happens.
There's so many things that you're doing when throwing a show. I don't think you're gonna get bored.
No, there's never a dull moment. Like on Saturday I sat down for a total of like 20 minutes trying to chill during like a 10-hour party. But it was good. It's a labor of love. Like you have to love this. You can't go in here expecting money. I do this till I go broke, and I am broke. And the thing is, somehow me continuing to do this made me not broke. So I'm like, okay, cool. Don't expect it, but just you gotta do it out of love.
Yeah.
We followed up with our third one. We threw a rager at Ping Tom. It was called Secret Sauce, Return of the Shmove. Hey. It was actually based off the Ninja Turtles movie, Return of the Ooze. It was pretty dope. And that one I actually started implementing flyers finally. And
I saw those flyers. Yeah,
with the drippy smiley face and shit. I was putting them everywhere, wheat pasting them, and like I'm a vandal at heart. Like I was a graffiti kid, and so being able to do shit like that with the wheat paste game was super fun and addicting. Again, labor of love. Like these are all things I really like to do. So like I don't really mind if I have to go out at fucking 4 a.m. by myself to go around the city on my bike to do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Literally. And after that, it kind of just kept ramping up, started meeting more people. And like there's people I knew, people I didn't know, and started like having them meet together, and like started to learn like the layers that are like happening here in Chicago. Like
who's in what position. Yeah.
Like the ice, like there should be a YouTube video, like the iceberg of this, iceberg of that, iceberg of Chicago, like dance music or
scene.
It gets deep, but it was cool. And like I personally treat this like a video game.
Yeah, like life. I think of life as a video game. Something you got to get XP points to upgrade, and
exactly. Like it's literally like DJing for me is literally Grand Theft Auto. Like you go on missions, you go do this and that. Like you meet people, shit goes sour, shit goes great, whatever. But like there's still like a level of like progress. Like you save that shit every time you go to sleep, and next day you wake up. How do we continue?
Wasted.
I woke up dead. How are you gonna wake up dead?
Yo, I feel like I'm getting that contact high. Can I get a little ripski of that?
Oh, yeah,
I just need like a very small puff. Mace? Mace is like, no.
Yeah.
Sir.
Fucking. But yeah, that's like that's why like people say we see you everywhere. Like how, like physically and like
Yeah.
in terms of my body or my flyers, and also digitally. And it's like I love it. Like there's nothing else that I'd rather be doing right now. I don't know how to stop. I don't know how to take a rest. I don't know how to fucking do a vacation. And I've literally given up my entire personal life for this because age 31, I took about 8 years off. Between that time I was telling you I was doing dubstep and all that, got into a very long relationship and was in a weird transition phase with producing and depression. Relationship ended, depression, all this shit, and I slowly but surely like reemerged. And I was just like, I'm not happy like doing everything but music, you know what I'm saying? So like I'm doing this to make myself happy, because if I don't do this now, I'm gonna regret it.
Yeah.
And so no regrets, you know what I'm saying?
No regrets, man. Yeah. And honestly, Mace, were you gonna say something?
Yeah, I just had a quick question, man. Like, are you kind of like dog chasing his tail a little bit? Like just kind of going from one thing to the next? I mean, you're obviously having success. Like, is this all like coordinated in your mind? Are you thinking through your next steps, or are you just kind of going, yo, this feels right, this doesn't? Like, what's your process on that?
I'm very like, I've a lot of crazy like intuition about this stuff. But I do have a plan. I do see like the next 5 years. I kind of have that like a broad sketch of that. But I wouldn't say necessarily like I'll jump on anything, because you really can't work with everybody. You can't be in every situation. But I can kind of see a roadmap for myself based on my past behaviors and my current ones, and the patterns are there. And I just know that at the end of the day, I'm really just following my heart. It doesn't really have to make sense to anyone else. And
Yeah.
there's so many different examples of people just doing crazy shit, you know, like they're doing this, they're doing that, and like, why can't I do that, you know?
Well, I feel like I'm a big Shark Tank fan. I don't know why.
I love Shark Tank.
It
Holy
gets my
fuck.
entrepreneurial brain going. But but the thing that they're always talking about is like whether or not they're trying to invest in this person. It's like, do you do this full time, or do you have like another job that you're doing? And it's like, from what I'm hearing from you, it's like you're fucking in it all the time. You're working. And that's what you need to do.
Yes. And like, I was actually just saying this today to one of my buddies, that I actually got let go from my recent job the day before my birthday, the week of my grandfather's death.
Damn.
The day before Sin Amor, and which was a huge ass 1 year Super Shmove anniversary party.
Yeah.
And I've just been freelancing since.
Yeah.
And I was telling him like the DJ shit that I already had planned. We have events planned up until literally September right now. But back in March, April, we had shit already like planned out until like July. So like, even when I got let go, you know, in the process of finding like another like big boy real job, whatever, I had so much shit already going on that I almost didn't have time. And
For the real job.
And now this stuff is like starting to pay. And
Yeah.
there's different ways that can happen, whether it be sponsorships, you know, ticket sales, merch, or whatever. And also joining the band Empath has taught me a few little things as well. The way they operate is completely different from anything I've ever seen. But it's cool seeing different perspectives on how monetization of your brand or your event or whatever it is that you are doing. There's just different ways to do it, and it's kind of interesting.
Is the band something that you're currently doing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Simultaneously, and it's been crazy. We have band practice twice a week, every week since I've been in the band since last summer, but officially joined recently. Like they finally like made it official. I've got a funny story about that in 5 seconds, but yeah, so just seeing the process of how money flows, and it's out there, kids. Fucking grab that fucking bag. Honestly, don't let anyone tell you it's not out there, because it is. You're just gonna be out there and fucking grab it. Deadass. And yeah, surprisingly enough, like this shit is so it's so consuming that I literally just haven't had time to really even think about anything else.
Yeah, that's good. That's awesome.
And now I'm like branching out and helping other crews and other like dance music brands do shit, whether it be they need footage, they need video, whatever, like graphic design.
Doesn't it feel good when you just are like, yeah, I can do that?
Yeah,
like when you can just say that to a bunch of, you're like, yeah, I've done that. Yeah, like I'm pretty good at that.
Yeah, and like I just take a lot of pride into what I do, because this is all I do now. So being able to not only feed myself off of it, but also help grow the community, bridge the gap, like I said earlier, is very important to me.
Yeah, for sure. There's a couple other things I want to ask you about, but just for the sake of throwing something else in there, maybe we run a track.
Oh.
Just
yeah,
because it's one of the many hats.
Keep it spicy.
And it's the podcast for producers. So we got to keep it
for sure
in that realm. I feel like the smoke in the camera probably looks wild.
I'm getting my Elon Musk moment right now.
We need some lasers out here right now that just
Yo, you didn't bring Givens for the lasers?
Yo, I fucked up. I fucked up.
We need a VJ for the podcast.
I should have brought.
What are you trying to run?
What do you mean?
Track wise.
Play Night Drive.
I understand the name. Like it just feels like a nighttime thing.
I'm actually about to shoot my own music video for this.
Hell yeah.
I don't know. I just can't stop.
Keep going.
Originally, I called this bitch Jersey Wub.
Oh shit!
Oh, there it is.
Yeah. Super big on Jersey. Be more shit. Shout out DJ Sega that got me into a lot of that. Philly club, Jersey club, be more East Coast fucking club music, basically, like that mixed with this UKG kind of part right here.
Yeah.
But also I was like a b-boy into breakdancing.
I love this like M1 sounding bass line. Sick.
Thank you.
Bro, every genre in one track, basically. This is like a hot DJ tool, too.
Yeah, this is sick.
It is. We have a little bit of like a deep house vibe in a second, too. As said, fuck a snare. I don't care what genre, as long as it's vibey, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This track is about a year old as well. So me and my boy Emotep, aka DJ Toro, aka my boy Daniel, we teamed up for this and we banged this out probably in 2 sessions.
Nice.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. But yeah, like
Hot.
Thank you. I've been waiting to release this. I wasn't sure how I wanted to release this, but I think self-release is the only way at this point for me.
Have you ever thought about Super Shmove as a record label?
I have. That was the first thing I thought, and I'm just like, no, we're not there yet. Actually, bajillion years ago, I went to Columbia originally for photography, and then switched over to music business and entrepreneurship. And I'm just like, yeah, this could be dope. This could be dope. But we'll see what actually happens with that. I just know self-releasing is something I've been really big on, something that I applaud, and something that I push. But yeah, I don't really know how it's gonna happen. I don't know if it's gonna be through me, through an unknown label that might be created sometime soon. We'll find out. But overall, I just want artists to have 100% control of what they're doing, which it's the most logical thing to do. Is just kind of figure it out, or have help. You know, people help you out, figure that out for you. But yeah, mixing UKG, American club, a little wub here, a little breakbeat there, some chords. You know, it's just vibey.
Yeah,
that kind of meshes well what I have out right now, which is like mostly like Jersey club type of beats. But I also have like super weird shit. I know I sent you, I think 5 tracks.
Yeah.
The Dream Eater one, you don't have to play that if you don't want to. You could be cool. But
we'll get to whatever. I feel like there's so much to talk about too.
There is.
So
oh my God.
One thing I actually like I keep trying to go back, but like
take me back.
There's so many different like disciplines and cool things related to underground culture that you do that, you know, I just feel like all go together, which is breakdancing. You were talking about graffiti, like when did you get into dancing? I always am very interested in people who also dance and produce, because like, you know, that's what you're trying to get people to do when you're making electronic dance music. I mean, if it's specifically that, so
deep cuts right now. So I didn't have any dance experience at all. But it all started freshman year when there is a school dance happening, and I went to an all boys school, but there was our sister's school, and some of my homegirls were over there. So like they pulled up, and like I've never danced with anyone in my life. I'm Hispanic, and I also kind of removed from that part of my culture. So like I've never really danced with anybody. So I was just like, how do we do this? And it was awkward, it was cool, it was painful, it was cringe, and it was just like, but it worked out, you know, just get juked on in Chicago, you know. But I wanted more. I started seeing people kind of snapping, popping, hip hop dancing at the same time. On TV, there was the Jabberwockies. They had one. America's Dance Battle or something. I forgot what it was.
Yeah, I forget what the show's called.
But I was just like, damn, that's cool. So I started getting exposed more to that just through media, and then next thing you know, I'm like YouTubing how to pop, how to crip walk, how to fucking do this, how to do that, how to break dance. I literally bought a DVD from I think Amazon or whatever store at the time online, and it was break dancing with Will Power, and Will Power's the dude's name. And it was just one of those super cheesy like instructional videos, but like it was so dead serious. It was just like, all right, let's do this.
Dude, it just have you seen that white woman where she's like,
that's exactly
this is hip hop, like she's literally like,
yup,
my teachers would be like, you can't like you got to fix your posture, you got to stand up straight. But I was like, nah, that's hip hop. Dude, it's the cringiest. It's so funny, but that's like what I'm picturing you watching, and you're like, okay.
I wouldn't say it's far off, but it was like way less cheesy. It was actually like break dancing. It wasn't just
okay. That had some actual skill involved.
Yeah, like you're learning like your baby freezes, your 6 steps. You know, a couple like very technical on the ground techniques, not just like boop boop boop. None of that step up shit, but
okay. Yeah, step up, that was like, dude, we went through like that dance phase.
Like they fed this to us, and I'm just like and then I ate it up. I'm like, this is cool, I fuck with it.
It is good. Yeah, I agree.
And from there, just the DVD, and then discovering like the old culture, like fucking the breaking movies and fucking Beat Street and all that. Like Beat Street's the ultimate Christmas movie. I'm telling you this right now.
It's a Christmas movie? Dude, I need an education right now.
Beat Street, bro. Oh my God. I can talk so much about that movie, but I won't. But point is, it was very influential. It had real breakdancing crews, like Rocksteady Crew from New York, and it's like a movie from the 80s. And it really just encompassed all of hip-hop, graffiti, breakdancing, MCing, all that production. But shit like that really inspired me. And I remember in high school, the second school I went to was St. Joe's, which is now closed down. That was like way out in the burbs, like in Westchester. I was in detention, always in detention. And they had us, we were a laptop school. So like, you know, you had to do shit on a laptop. You're sitting there like, what are you gonna do detention? The cool detention teacher's like, just do your fucking homework, dude. Just shut the fuck up. And I'm watching Beat Street, and this guy behind me, his name's Keith Mecca. He was a pretty cool guy. He's like, yo, what's up? And since then, like, I never looked back. This guy was running breakdancing battles and had a crew called Sour Apples Crew. And he kind of like introduced me to the physical real world lifestyle of it. And I was just like, this is dope. And started doing photography and videography for them. And then like kind of learning under them a little bit, and just embraced that time just to soak up the culture. And it was so cool meeting like Beast Boy, Jam One, you know, Vittles, fucking Sesh, all of them, fucking Swank. And it kind of just like, I just went with it. And at the same time, the high school dances are still continuing. You're in high school the whole time, you know? Yeah. And so like now I'm a little bit better at dancing. And I'm in this new school, and I have to like kind of make a name for myself. So I decide to like pass out DJ mixes, because I'm still DJing, doing all this shit. I was doing shit on virtual DJ, recording these goddamn mixes and putting them out, and people like, yo, this is cool, this is fire, this is dope. They had me DJ one of the dances, and that kind of turned up pretty nicely. But I wasn't even like focused on the DJ tip at that time. I was just like, yeah, this is something I do. But I DJ'd, and then I would start dancing in a circle. But like the problem was, I'm always trying to fix the problem. The problem was a lot of these folks were standing on the wall, no matter how poppin' it was. So how do you fix that problem? The music's banging, cool. There's plenty of people here, cool. I mean, we're underage. Not many people are going to be drunk besides the older kids. But I ended up going person to person. Like, I knew most of these people, but going up person to person, like talking some random shit, some banner. And I would just start sporadically just dancing, like break dancing with them, and like just and I would just hype them up and get them all into the middle of the floor. And then the next thing you know, like the whole fucking the high school itself, like at the event, it's just like jumping up and down. I'm like, all right, this is dope. And I'm literally in this, not even DJ, I'm in the center just break dancing.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, that's just kind of like how that started. And eventually in that high school, I started a breakdancing club with one of my boys, Josue, and we would perform at the school dances, not dances, but the school like pep rallies and shit. And it was cool because then I started getting exposed to footwork dancing and all these other styles, and started meeting all these folks. And I was like, this is dope, this is cool, this is dope. And ADHD always got me distracted. Same time, I was like doing skateboarding and martial arts, so like it all kind of blended.
A lot of disciplines there, yeah.
Yeah. So I kind of
they're all based on balance, though. I'd say
balance and movement. Yeah.
Yeah, they're all movement practices.
Yeah, and that kind of just had me super hyper focused on like bodywork stuff and like just being able just to move your body, and that goes hand in hand with the music stuff. So like at that point, I figured out how to dance well enough to like, all right, this dude can dance. We can just, no one makes fun of this guy. And then I had graduated high school, got inducted into the Second City, and I'm watching other people dance, like real dancers out here. I'm just like, okay, cool. And then I'm going to Columbia College, more dancers, more DJs, and this cross pollination. But between all that, like, it's just all media. The graffiti thing happened simultaneously as well during that high school phase. Like, I was an avid drawer since I was little. I actually wanted to be an illustrator when I was younger. And
I kind of did too. I like loved comic books.
Me
like
too.
I couldn't read normal books. I was like so ADD also. I was like, but these are better. Like they have pictures.
And I'm also a huge fucking Marvel nerd. So like all I had was Marvel comics and would watch the cartoons and shit. I would barely read them unless I was like really, really bored. But the pictures, like the imagery, like I'm like, this is dope. The shots. And I was like, this is cool. I always wanted to be Spider-Man. So it goes hand in hand with the whole mobility thing.
Totally. Can you spin on your head?
Not with the bun.
Not with the bun.
Not with the bun. No,
But
that's
without?
actually the one thing I was very scared to do. I was just like, Yeah, first of all, it's gonna fuck up my wig, and then and second of all, like I'm gonna snap my neck. But you never know. I'm actually planning on shaving this bitch kind of soonish, so we'll see. I might be bald and beautiful and being able to spin freely.
Hell yeah. I have total faith that you can figure that out.
I know my guy Wayne's gonna help me out with that Styling Out Network. You know what's good, baby.
Yeah, shout out Wayne.
He's a breakdancing homie, but there's so much to fucking talk about.
No,
dude.
I know.
Fuck.
I'm gonna try to rein it in a little bit.
Bring it in, bro.
Because like I just want to focus on dance just a little bit more. But like something like I used to skateboard when I was younger, and to see where skateboarding has gone from when I was younger to now is insane. It's like crazy, and part of it is that people, you know, stand on the shoulders of giants. They see people do stuff and they realize what's possible. And I was just curious, like, I guess more in the breakdancing area, like, has that shit gotten even more complicated? Like,
yeah, dude,
it's like
holy
crazy
fuck.
now.
Like, honestly, I'm not the best breakdancer, but at the time, like, I was like chilling with Sour Apple's crew. I was never in a crew or anything, but like I looked up to them, specifically Beast Boy. He's still active to this day. He actually just opened up a dance studio recently, but he was like the best of the best, and I was like, this guy is literally a fucking like ninja Spider-Man, fucking cosmic being that can do whatever the fuck he wants on 4 limbs. And I was like, this is sick. And it was just that it was just super dope. I actually sadly fell out of that during that whole like super long depression phase, but I've gotten back into it actually.
Hell yeah. Well, I always see you dancing at shows, like just kind of popping and doing a little
I
shuffle.
can't help it, dude. Like once that beat is there, I'm just like, all right, cool, let's fucking but it has to be right. I'm not gonna dance like, oh, this is so and so, and like I should, you know, go support. Like, no, if the music's trash, I'm not dancing. If it's good, I'm dancing. Like, I'm so like real with it. It's painful sometimes and it hurts my life, but if I catch the beat, dude, like I'm gonna go. And the same thing is, if you ever are super excited, like I get super duper excited when I hear a song. I'm like, yes, this is the fucking shit. I'll start dancing. But even more so, like if the song is even like insane, or like the vibe is insane, I'm like, yo, I want to back to back with this person. I want to DJ with this person. Like I see myself in you and I want to amplify that vibe. And like it kind of happens with both wanting to DJ with somebody or produce with somebody, and or dancing and like showing that physical appreciation, body movement, and energy, like giving out that energy. Yeah,
dude, I have been talking about this a lot lately, and one thing I had said before was that like dancing is like the worshiping, or like the praying to the music, like if the music is like 100%. The gods and stuff.
Yes.
But yeah, it's just interesting how this all just comes back and just keeps coming up, you know.
Honestly, like, so dance is really like a ritualistic thing.
What do you think happened, dance or music first, the chicken or the egg? Were people dancing and they're like, we need a beat to this, or they were like, we got to beat this, what are we doing now? Oh shit, we're moving.
So I actually believe they kind of grown simultaneously, but I don't think there was ever originally any music at all. Like obviously there's like, who's gonna make this motherfucking music, you know what I'm saying? Nature was the music, so like these patterns and rhythms between birds, wind, you know, like different sounds and shit. Like you like specifically like birds and like amphibians, like they just have that pattern. It's just like repeating. I've seen them sampled before, and I'm sure at some point before shit was ever recorded, like people were getting down to shit like that, just like feeling some vibe. It was like, all right, cool.
They're like, yeah, go off, bird.
And then like they would amplify that with like, you know, handmade drums or whatever, flutes, whatever.
Okay, so like in a way it sounds like the music was first, but at the same time, movement, I mean, you could consider any movement a dance.
Yeah. So like I feel simultaneously, but the way they started were different. One was natural to the environment itself, and the other one was a reaction to the environment, which is that, you know, that praise, that energy. And I feel like that can even turn, like, I'm talking on my ass. There's probably like fucking
I love this.
Papers written on this with actual like historical, like archaeological evidence of how like the history of music started. I don't know any of that right now.
No, I don't think we know. I don't know. No, anyway,
I'm also stoned, so I'm speculating. I'm pulling the Joe Rogan thing, but like in the positive way. So check this out. I just believe that through the evolution of nature and a reaction to nature created like what we see as like ritualistic dance and stuff, like in different cultures from like, you know, Central America, South America, Africa, Asia, whatever. Like there kind of seems to be a common thing where like the first steps of, I guess, musical history for them would be like a ritualistic dance or something like offering to the gods. So like dancing really started out for me, in my mind, is more like, all right, it's a passing of energy from one self to a different self, whether it be me to you or me to a greater self, to a greater entity. So like, dance is ritualistic and it's like spiritual almost.
It really is. And this is like the other thing I was talking about is like that the energy you bring to a concert, like you think that you're just one person there and you can't really have that big of effect, but like what you did at that show where you went up to everyone, you were like literally on Molly before Molly was even no, I'm just kidding, but like literally like you're going around to everyone, getting everybody moving, and like it only takes one person like that, you know, to really get shit going.
And it brings it back to me at high school, just trying to like get people off the wall. I was like, one guy just pulling everybody until everyone just like, all right, cool. I was herding the sheep, and you know, we got the party started. But like exactly what you said, man. Like it just takes one person's energy to change an environment, and I can feel that with my music, and I can feel that through the event production, because it's literally just.
Do you? Yeah, sorry. No, keep going.
Oh no, you're good. You're good. It's literally just me. Super Shmove, like I have all total creative control, marketing, everything. Like if I don't think about it, it doesn't happen.
I was gonna ask, do you have any people that like are on the regular invite list that you're like, not only like have we, you know, booked DJs and whatever who are gonna get the party going, but I want these specific people to come, not just because they're in the industry or whatever, but like they're gonna be dancing, you know?
Yeah, I definitely have my go-tos, and like we do have a team for Super Shmove. Like I do have like full creative control and everything, but I do have a team that works with me, Circus Ant. We have Double Dip, who actually just joined us. We have Astral Leon. He's been super big in helping me.
Saw him at Sub T.
Yes, Tectonic One. Yeah. And then we've got Rayhan, who actually just moved to Cali, so you already know what that means. So that's gonna be fun. But those guys have been basically like my rock since pretty much around day one. They each bring something to the table that I necessarily don't have, but at the end of the day, like those guys are always like just a support group. Even if most of them, like Circus Ant and Astro Leon, are literally always on the lineup. Like they almost for sure will always be on the lineup. Rayhan obviously just moved. Double Dip, he is always booked as well, so you can't play everyone. But like those are our residents. Those are my teammates. And in terms of like people who I kind of like need or like usually want to have there, as you said, just like dance community people who are really truly supporting. Like I don't necessarily need one in like specific person there, but I really would just like to have, you know, members of the different communities that I'm in, you know, come and support. Like, you know, like I know everyone has like their nights and like they're busy. I go to literally like 5 events a night per weekend, so like I get it. I make my rounds. But at the end of the day, like it's really about the community, the fans, the consumers, people who live and breathe Super Shmove that are not me, you know? And we have people like that now, which is crazy to me. I'm just like, what the fuck?
No, I was just curious if there was anyone specific, but I also understand like you want new people there to experience it and tell their friends and come back and whatever, have a good time.
Yeah, honestly, like it's always when you go to a show and you throw shows, like you have your crowd, but that crowd is more like an ocean. It's an ocean of people with the tides going back and forth. Sometimes, you know, high tide, low tide. Sometimes, you know, fucking water's calm as shit. So like it's always changing, it's always in motion, and always super grateful for anyone that shows up in the first place. Like I don't give a fuck if it's 200 people or 2 people that we're playing to. I'm still gonna fucking play, and I will chop it up and smoke you out and have a good time, make sure you get home, and you know, make sure everything's cool. But yeah, dude, it's just like, it's like a sea of just, I would say, changes. Like, you got friends of friends pull up, sometimes those friends don't pull up, and you got complete random people who seen your flyers somewhere in the middle of the city who pull up, and then next month, like, their friends pull up but they couldn't pull up, and it's like, it's just super dope to see. I'm very interested in that stuff since, like, MySpace, that, like, the 6 degrees of separation type of vibe, like, oh, you know this person, you know that person, you know this person, how the fuck you know this person, my boy, what are you talking about?
Yeah. No, it's weird like that. It's cool though.
weird.
Like, it's dope to see. It also makes, like, the Chicago scene feel small sometimes. Speaking of small scenes, not that it really is too small, but, like, are there any other companies, collectives that you're really trying to work with, or, like, that you just have on the radar that you're like, oh, we could work well together? I mean, like, obviously you're doing your own thing, but I mean, like, the Lake Effect thing, like, you know, like that.
Yeah.
You know,
So, which is pretty cool. This year, it's almost exclusively collaborations with us. I have, like, a few different crews who want to do collabs. I've actually did one of my dream collabs, which was with Microdot, I Heart Techno. We did a Sunday Fun Day warehouse event where we actually live streamed it as well, and that was super fun. Like, I always wanted to work with a guy. Anytime I went to an, like, underground event, I always just thought of him. I'm just like, yo, he's the one that kind of, like, really pushed it, in, like, at least when I was around, like, really pushed, like, the underground vibe, and it was, like, something I really subscribed to. That was cool. That was, like, a dream collab. And then we did, like, Effects one, which was pretty cool. I met those guys recently, and, like, it was just such a good vibe. Footwork, club music, some dub shit.
It was at Foster Beach, so it was like an outside thing. You guys got some good weather, it seemed like.
Yeah, dude. So, like, the Saturday was beautiful, man. We collabed and did this beach party on the beach, on the sand, Foster Beach, and it was fun. We probably had, honestly, I didn't really, like, have a clicker, but the sheer amount of people that we had, I think at least 120 people pulled up, and cops never pulled up, and no one bothered us. The locals actually jumped in. There were a few people who seemed to really like us, and so they stayed the entire time. I think they were homeless, to be honest. I was just like, that's cool. I mean, we rolled up on your living room, you know.
They were like, yo, this is
no,
sick.
but they lit. I have all the video. We were like, yo, and then we had some old white ladies walking by and just like they're getting down. Like, I was just like, that's cool, but, like, not one issue, and just the vibes were just on 10, to be honest. And, like, it was just a beautiful day, being on the water, hearing some music, having some food. Like, the homies are all there. It's just always a good time.
Yeah.
And I think that event went very well. In the future, we have stuff more in the techno spectrum. We've got more stuff in the breakbeat spectrum happening. But in terms of, like, who I'm looking forward to work with, I really want to work with my boy Prove, Asha, Foley, fucking Caleb at Dark
Heaven people.
Yeah, like, they show me a lot of love, and, like, we've definitely, like, have booked each other, but I definitely would like to do a collaboration with them on something very interesting and special, only because they're, like, really the first guys to show me love when I came back, and they're really, like, real as fuck from the beginning. So I was like, yeah, this is dope. Everything they've done has just been fire. Them for sure. I want to do something with 773 Flow State. Those guys are doing some fun stuff.
Yeah.
Green Machine would be cool. Those guys, jagging
Not
them.
familiar.
Really? So Green Machine, yeah, they actually just had their 1-year anniversary, I believe, on Sunday. They do a lot of house music, a lot of, like, techno stuff.
Word.
Yeah, this is a good vibe.
Do they have a normal venue that they're...
I think they have, like, 2 rotating venues that they have, not actually, like, not commercial venues, but, like, you know, underground stuff.
Yeah.
They are doing a really good job of curating that stuff, and their flyers are always amazing too. That'd be a cool collab. I actually just had I don't want to, like, give shit away, but
no, you can censor yourself a little bit.
So unnamed techno people and I are gonna do some stuff.
Nice.
Let's just say that, and that's gonna be fun. I really want to do do a collab with the guys in Notion Swamp Woofer. Brian Carl. They booked me out for the Hamdy show, and they're just like, yo, when are we gonna have this super Shmove, Swamp Woofer collab? I'm just like, let's talk. So I'm really looking forward to that. That's gonna be cool. And I've got homies out on the West Coast, East Coast that I also want to collab with. I just can't really name names right now, but it's in the works. Actually, since we're already talking about collabs and shit in different states, on June 30th, we're actually having our next event at Wicker Park Emporium.
Oh, nice.
Tectonic #2, actually.
Really?
Yeah, it was actually I named it Tectonic because of you. The night of the original Tectonic, March, I forgot what day in March, but earlier this year in March, you're just like, hey, is this gonna be a regular series? Like, what are you gonna do with it? And like at that point, I didn't even think about that, and I usually just change the name for my event every single time. But once Wet Dreams 2 happened this Saturday, I was just like, fuck it, why don't we just do it? And I just thought about you specifically. I'm just like, yeah, honestly, it's a raw name. I can keep making sick, cool marketing shit for it. I'm just like, yeah, I fuck with it.
It reminds me of some Pokemon like Seismic.
Oh, I fucking love that so fucking much, dude.
Sounds like a move like Tectonic Smash or something.
Yo, all right, this man's hyping me up right now. I'm such a fucking nerd.
I think we all are when it comes to producers. It's like, yo, Pokemon, SpongeBob, like, or just some stupid...
No, Pokemon is so specific though. Like,
it is, yeah.
Like
last episode, we were like, yeah, show me the binder. That was one thing we talked about.
I got the binder, and I got the Pokemon tat right here.
What is that?
It's actually not from the anime, but it's actually from the game. So Pokemon Red. The player's original name is Red. And that's his sprite from the original artist. I think his name was Ken Sugimori.
Oh, hell yeah.
Dude did a flash rendition of it, and I was just like, yo. And they threw my initial G logo on the hat, and I was just like, oh, fuck yeah, dude, let's go.
So here, oh wait, that's sick. What? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Were you one who would name your character Ash? Because that was
hell
big.
No.
Okay.
So it when I was younger, it'd literally just be like G.
Yeah.
Not even G-O, just G.
Yeah.
And then for the longest I could remember, the rival would always just be Lame Ass. Because then the grandpa was like, hey, what's up, Lame Ass? Like, I was like, oh my God.
You're like, dude, I'm going to smash this guy.
I thought it was hilarious.
All my Pokemon are 99. Or some shit. No.
I actually never even beat a game for a long time. I don't really finish games, but I finished Pokemon Blue for sure, like that. I didn't even finish Red. I finished Blue. I said, fuck Red. I'll do fucking Blue. But
once you do Blue, I mean, it's pretty...
It's pretty much the same thing.
It's like the same thing, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that was you hit a chord with that, because I'm such a very specific nerd for that.
The Tectonic thing, it's fun how you can have different names for different shows, which are maybe different genres. Like Tectonic, I think of more like deep dubstep or drum and bass, way more bassy.
Yeah, so Tectonic is very specifically a heavy bass type of night for us. I consider heavy bass to be within multiple genres. So specifically we're doing UKG shit, footwork, drum and bass, jungle, techno. People usually be like, how the fuck are you doing all those different genres? So specifically the techno, drum and bass thing. Techno people hate drum and bass hate techno, you know what I'm saying? So
that's such bullshit. I hate that.
It's so dumb, dude. And I'm just like, nah.
Well, I feel like that's almost more in the UK. I feel like people in the United States, they're kind of we just got fed all of this stuff. I mean, I am. Maybe I'm speaking for anyone, but fucking, when we were listening to UKF, it was they had drum and bass, they had dubstep, and then that was the intro for myself into all of electronic.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
I don't discriminate against genres.
Oh, I definitely don't. I'm a genre slut.
Yeah, if you're in your own genre, you're and making fun of people when something else, or just really hating on something just to hate on it, you're one of those people that just hated J. Cole just to hate on J. Cole, right? Just kind of hopping on that. Yeah.
Or I saw a meme the other day from this account called Headbang Society, and it was when you're in the crowd and they play rhythm and you appreciate other people of taste, and it's okay, that might not be my taste, but I also completely understand what you're talking about. you just see another person who's like you and you're like, oh yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
you.
Big inspiration for Tectonic in a very specific way is Flores Negras. She actually is like, she's mother basically. She's helped me out with a lot and like really like shown me a lot of things musically and within the scene. She specifically runs this company called Miklan, and that's actually Aztec for the word for the underworld, and it's this dark gothic vibe.
Dope.
But what she does specifically, like, that had me so interested is the very specific mix of regional Hispanic music like cumbia, corridos, and shit like that, along with techno,
Oh, shit, that sounds sick.
along with footwork. Those three, like, let's just say cumbias, techno, footwork, three completely different genres, completely different speeds for the most part, all in one night. And I'm just like, what the fuck? And these things are fucking popping the fuck off. I was just like, yo, what the fuck? And like, just that dedication just to being different, to being weird, just being true to yourself, it's inspired me. And specifically Tectonic, like, Super Shmove has been a brand where like we teeter between club and the underground, and each one of our artists brings something different to the table. Like Leon specifically, or Astro Leon, he's really good. He's overall really good at everything, god damn it, but he really likes dubstep, drum and bass, and he's really good at that. And he does a lot of like progressive house and like techno as well, but he brings that dubstep, drum and bass thing that like the way I just don't, and he's just really good at that. Circus Ant brings in a lot of cool like house music, UKG vibes, and he does that on a higher level than I do. Me, I'm more into like footwork, Jersey club, breakbeat, very heavy on breakbeats, and anywhere that fits in. And like the idea that Flores Negras did on her nights, I kind of applied to Super Shmove as a crew. Like, we're all got something different going on. Let's just have like a multi-genre show. And usually I would kind of curate like, hey, let's just do these types of genres today on this one. Let's just do these type of genres on this one. But with Tectonic, it just it's overall just heavy bass, like from UKG ghetto house, which is not really like super heavy bass, but that bass is fucking fat, yo. UKG ghetto house breaks, techno, DMB, fucking footwork, dubstep, bass music, like all that in one night, just to bring you a diverse background, just the heaviest shit, and like what we consider, at least what we consider heavy, you know, whatever we consider seismic, tectonic, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's just kind of cool how that idea of just like inclusiveness of different genres stems off from another, like, you know, Latino Chicago artist who's paving their own way, and that just comes from something else, you know, like there's always just like, nothing's ever original. You always get inspiration from someone else, and like,
Yeah.
for this one specifically, Tectonic, she was a lot of my inspiration.
Word.
Yeah.
Shout out. I got a couple questions, but one thing I just wanted to say is like, I like the mix. Like, I went to a Swamp Woofer show the other day, and it was like all deep dubstep, and after a while I was like, I love this, but I'm just like, I need a little variation, throw some breaks in there or something. But nothing against the show, it was a good show. It's just, I think for myself, maybe being a little bit like ADD slightly, I'm like, okay, I want to hear a couple different genres in here.
Yeah, for sure. I'm exactly the same way. Like, I could not sit through like a single genre set unless I absolutely love the artist or the event or
there's
whatever.
a different thing when it's like, just do whatever you want. I love you.
Yeah,
Do your
for
thing.
sure. But yeah, dude, fucking. At the end of the day, it really is ADHD music, ADHD centric, because I am ADHD. So like at the end of the day, I'm only doing what I know, and hopefully that vibes with people. You know.
No, I think DJing in general is kind of ADD because we're not playing the whole track. We're skipping out on like whatever, half of the track.
Yeah.
So
for real.
The other thing I wanted to ask about, and this is like a tangent, but I'm so down for it, is are you into like the mythology of, you were talking about like Mayans, like Aztecs, like...
Yes.
Okay, yeah, because like I love the Greek mythology, and when you posted that flyer for what was it, Sinamor?
Yeah, Sinamor.
Yeah, and it had Chichen Itza. I was like, dude, I went there not that long ago, and I was like, this is crazy. To see ruins and just to hear about their mythology, because it's not like a religion now, it's like barbaric, and I love it. Like Greek mythology is so flawed.
Yeah.
You know? So,
It's like Latin Americans' version of Thor and shit like that, you know,
Yeah.
at this point. And that's how I see it personally. But yeah, I'm really like deep into that, and I just think being able to just go back to your roots and incorporate it to what you're doing now is pretty fun. I'm Puerto Rican and Guatemalan, and so like I learned a lot actually. I speaking of Father's Day, happy Father's Day to all the past, present, and future baby daddies out there. But I actually don't have a close relationship with my father, and don't really know much about that side of my heritage, which is the Guatemalan side. So like I'm recently like discovering the shit on my own, and like shit's cool as fuck. And also like that party specifically, Sin Amor, was everything I do. Again, I'm a nerd. Everything I do is like some nerdy shit.
like it's got to have meaning to unpack.
Yeah, and like it's not really like spoken out too often. Like people will catch it or people won't. But like Tectonic was a cyberpunk fucking like anime style party at first, like where it was like Godzilla meets mechas.
That also makes sense tectonic wise, plate, like, you know,
The
'cause-
plates and shit, all that.
yeah.
And like I did an anime music video promo trailer for it, and it was just so fucking fun. I was splicing different animes together and like throwing graphics and shit, but curating a storyline for that. And with Sin Amor, it was pretty interesting because so fucking nerdy. It was actually
The Quetzalcoatl thing?
yeah,
Or no,
no, it's a little bit of everything.
Rayquaza.
Rayquaza, but it goes even deeper. So like Sin Amor, Black Panther 2, Namor, the villain, his background's just like, you know, they called me the Niño Sin Amor, the child without love, and it turned into just to Namor. But like Sin Amor was fucking hard when I heard that. I'm like, yo, raw. And
That's the one. You were like,
that's
yeah.
the one.
Yeah.
And then like just I was obsessed with that fucking movie and that character, and I was just like, yo, this is dope. And that whole thing, actually, that one was actually Rayhan's idea for the name. Shout out Rayhan. It was based off that Marvel movie and that character, which normally Namor is like a white character from like Europe or whatever, like Atlantis shit. But they switched it up and like turned it into like this Mesoamerican, Central American vibe, and was just like, yo, cool, I fuck with this. Let's amplify that. And on top of that, learning more about the culture and learning more about Mayan stuff, Aztec stuff. I learned more about the shit, what the fuck's his name?
Incans? No.
The serpent god.
Yeah. Quetzalcoatl.
Quetzalcoatl.
Or he's got another name too. I forget. There's like,
I'm so stoned right now,
bro.
Jesus
No,
Christ.
I just love
that
this stuff.
dispo weed.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, fuck, what the fuck was his goddamn name?
Should I pull this up?
You
Am I
should-
looking it
Yeah.
up?
Look up. What is like bird? What the fuck is that bird called? Bird of.
Quetzalcoatl. The Mayans had a different name for it.
Yeah. It starts with like a K. I swear. Look up.
Yeah, Kukulkan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
There you go. I just needed that reference. So that's the Mayan name for the same exact entity, Quetzalcoatl. I can't say that one.
Yeah.
It's basically like a dragon serpent thing, which is also like the way the history went, like it's just like the sun god type of vibe, but also there was a person, like a king with the same name, and like over time that kind of got mixed together, like
yeah.
the king was the god type of vibe.
Yeah.
And they played into that heavy into the Marvel movie, and like that was really cool. And so like the serpent thing really got me because it looked like fucking Rayquaza from Pokemon, one of my favorite Pokemon.
I think Rayquaza is probably modeled after one of the. I mean, the Japanese also have a lot of dragons in their culture, but it felt like the color scheme for Rayquaza was more.
Yeah, and like just the head itself, like the back of the head. So like I looked into the history of like Rayquaza and how it came up, and it basically is just a mix of all those things together. But like it worked really well with what I'm about and what I saw potentially within like that flyer design and stuff. So I actually threw Rayquaza in the back of there behind the pyramid, and then
Oh, really? I don't even
yeah,
know
it was
if I
like
saw that.
it was just so subtle. Like you can kind of see it. It's like kind of grayed out. It's like almost blends in, but it's two of them. Kind of makes a pattern design, and I put like the Mayan calendar on there as well. And kind of just like layered things over it.
Yeah.
I almost put fucking Namor in there, and I was just like, that's a little too nerdy. Let's not do that. Gotta make it look cool. But yeah, it was just like the inspo was just literally Pokemon and Marvel
Yeah.
into a show.
Yeah.
Or
But
we-
you wouldn't even really, like, if you saw the flyer, you wouldn't know that.
You wouldn't know. That's the thing that I really like about it. Like you really wouldn't know, but that's really where it comes from. And you were talking about Pokemon earlier.
We go deep.
I want to throw like a full-on anime party, like Pokemon party and shit. Like, but done right. Like it can
Like
be
trading, like you're handing out trading cards
no,
for
no,
the,
no, no,
for
no,
the
no, no, no,
DJs.
no, nothing like that. Nothing like that.
That's too corny.
It's just too much. It has to be subtle. Like I like make it cool. Like, you know, like I wouldn't put like direct images or like direct references to exactly what it is, like Pokemon, but I would like model it so closely to it that it's on like you cannot not see it, you know what I'm saying? Just like, all right, yeah, this is one of the Pokemon parties. I'm hyping myself up about it. I just discovered some DJs from like Toronto. They DJ anime conventions, and that shit looks fucking lit. They have like 150,000 fucking followers on IG, and I was just like, okay, yeah, let's do this, you know.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
What kind of music do they spin for an anime party? Is it like hyper pop breaks? Like that's what I'm picturing. Or like
I'm really into breakcore. So like I imagine some type of vibe like that, but I actually was listening to the music and it was more like a hip hop, kind of like a clubby vibe. And I was like, oh yeah, this is kind of cool. I fuck with this. Because when you go to an anime convention, you kind of realize like a lot of those people there's so many different diverse backgrounds. Like
yeah,
there's got to be like a common denominator. But I'm maybe underground music would pop off too. You never.
I think
Chicago underground. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Have you been to an anime convention?
Yes, I've gone to C2E2 here, and then I went to Comic-Con in New York.
I hear that like the hotels nearby get weird, like with partying and shit.
I haven't had that experience per
Not
se.
in like a bad weird, but
if
like
a furry ran up to me and she was a baddie, I mean, we would have a conversation, but
like she had a tail.
like, no, she was a real baddie. No, I'm not a furry, but I'm talking about like, you know, if they had the vibes, you know, they might get it, but I'm kidding. But yeah, I heard a lot of crazy things about those anime hotel parties, and book your boy.
Yo,
I just saw that guy Eddie Pamu was at which is a Japanese pop artist. They were out here. I think it was Anime Central. My boy Ghetto Mark, shout out. He's like, yo, let's go. I was just like, I want to go so bad, but I'm broke right now. And yeah, he popped out, and I was mad jelly, dude. I was like super fucking jealous. I was like, damn, I should have fucking went. You gotta buy like the fucking pass to like the anime convention, and then you gotta buy a ticket to the con. I was like, I don't know about all that right now, but
yeah, sorry, we go down tangents, but I'm so it's all but dude, this show is all about you, man. This is the things you're interested in, and
I am a tangent. Like I can literally just I won't shut up. I'll go any direction.
New DJ name Tangential. I don't know.
Honestly, that's an interesting name. I do fuck Tangential. That'd be cool on a flyer.
It could be another show in the sense that like we just go from different genre to different genre. But anyway, you can keep that one for later.
Yes.
I wanted to ask you, because I really should know this, and maybe you know, but like juke music, does that come from like house music? Like, is it just like that extra kick, but it's faster? Like, how did that develop?
All right, kids, get in a little closer.
Yeah.
Okay.
I need an education right now.
So, short answer is yes.
Okay.
Long answer is I would say the best person to talk about this definitely would be Traxman, and he definitely has talked about this. But it comes from house music turned into basically ghetto house, and then sped up and added different variations, percussion, and different syncopations. And house music is typically 128, but like I'll say 120 to like 130. They were pushing limits to 140, now like 160. And that's a whole other interesting space. But like juke music and footwork music are like in this parallel together, but they're not the same. And being with Second City and then now being more into the footwork scene myself currently, I'm starting to like, I finally realized there is an actual difference between juke and footwork. To me, juke was definitely more prominent in Second City and the Latino crowd, the Southside Latino crowd, where we get the ayo, ayo, and people are fucking like just grinding on each other. It's cool. And like that was mostly my experience, is, you know, people grinding on each other for the most part. And
it's a big grind.
It's literally a giant grind fest. And like if you were that guy, you'd be having like 3 girls lined up back to back to back to back, and then you're at the end, and then maybe some other chicks behind you. But like,
damn.
Yeah. Fucking, it was just like, damn, what the fuck? And seeing that at a young age coming from dubstep, I was like, yo, this is lit.
Yeah, because dubstep's just like whomping.
I started grinding at dubstep shows. People are like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm just like, we're getting down on halftime. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
But
depends how you dance.
The juke parties, the snares were usually like on 2 and 4. So like it was just boom, boom, cat, boom, very quick shit. Like, someone that does juke music very well that I like a lot is Constantine. He actually was just recently sampled by Skrillex in that Too Bizarre Juked with Swali. Him and Squaduble, shout out. That definitely is like juke music. Footwork music is a little more complicated, and snares like are on the 3 instead of the 2 and the 4 directly, and like that dubstep shit. Yeah, halftime shit. And it'll switch up, but there's a lot of like I don't know the fucking proper terminology, but like syncopated beats and shit, and it's very broken, very breakbeat almost, like not like a but more like a shit like that, where it's just like broken up.
Yeah, like the fills are also just like, it's like like the bar is just getting shorter and shorter. It's like, you know,
and like the kicks are crazy different places. Sub bass usually will replace the kick sometimes, and then the hi-hats are crazy. Like the toms and shit are crazy, but like it almost feels more technical than the juke music, to be honest.
Well, that makes sense. Whenever you see someone dancing to footwork, it looks like they're kind of just having a seizure in the best way possible.
In the best way possible, because they're moving at like,
it's crazy, dude.
Fucking
it's like
16th notes, or like sometimes, you know, 32 notes and shit.
If you told me that I was just gonna like work out today, but we're just gonna dance to footwork, I'd be like,
yo, that's a fucking proper workout. But yeah, honestly, it's just a difference in variation in the way the beats are laid out. But both juke and footwork kind of basically grew up in this like tangent, and they can definitely like cross each other. But I hear a very distinct difference. But fucking what I see now happening, and specifically the speed of 160, the BPM, like Sherelle and them, and Morgan, all of them doing shit like between the UK here and other parts of not the US, but not only Chicago anymore. They're doing different things with footwork now, which is very interesting. Like one of my favorite like producers, or I guess 2 producers, is Kush Jones, DJ Swisha, and like they do a bunch of different genres, but like they spice up a lot of different things, and like they're within that 160 community as well. And seeing like Sherelle mix this shit with like jungle and you know, shit like that, like having these different ideas implemented. And the jungle has definitely been implemented in footwork before that as well, from like homegrown shit like EQY, Traxman, shit like that.
That makes sense too, because that was like popular at the same time that they were probably both coming up.
Yeah, you just taking an almond break and just throwing it in that bitch. But fucking, it's cool to see how people are expanding on that idea and pushing it further. And the further it goes, it might not resonate the same with people who've been doing it a long time, but it definitely is an evolution in the timeline of that genre, because there's always going to be an evolution.
Dude, it's just crazy that Chicago, just to rep the city for a sec, I mean, like, just so many genres that have been, you know, like exported to the UK that then they decide to get influenced by it, like, you know, drill music. I mean, their drill music is very different, but you know,
I actually, that's funny that you say that. I posted some FaZe Miyake on my note on IG today. I haven't listened to him for a bit, but it was which track was it? I want to see real quick. It was the Oddity by FaZe Miyake, who does like that UK drill shit, and like he kind of does his own flavor on it. But it's just so funny that you mentioned that. Yeah, like it's cool. UK drill and hip hop didn't start from American hip hop; it started from reggae. But that's a whole other conversation. But like the tangents between
UK drill started from reggae,
yeah, like reggae shit, like UK, like all that comes like from dub, basically, like dub UK, like UKG shit.
Well, yeah, I knew that like dubstep and stuff like that came from dub,
but like
reggae shit.
their hip hop is just like basically derived from like the reggae roots, and then like progresses in like a tangent parallel to like American hip hop, which like, oh, did that come from? No, it didn't actually, which is pretty cool. But now the like Chicago drill music and the UK drill, it's still drill, you know, and like I kind of, you can hear like the influences back and forth, and it was like,
yeah, there's this interplay which is really dope.
It's super fun. The UKG thing, man, like how the whole Northern Soul movement happened, where like they were learning about like funk records here and then start using it over there in the UK, like James Brown
for UKG specifically.
Yeah, like it like turned into like UKG shit out there, like having these soulful records and shit, you know, you get those vocals, you get those different fucking, you know, beat patterns, and then it turns into two-step, turns into dubstep, and turns into bro step, it turns into, you know, all this shit.
That's why I'm like, how do you just like decide to be like, nah, fuck this genre, I only like this? Because it's like they're all derivative, you know what I mean? Like, so
yeah,
I don't know, man.
I like a lot of things, but I think that I find it really cool to see how things started and how they evolve. I was really into specifically evolution and like animals, like in science, like in science class, evolution has always like been on the forefront of my mind. Just like, hey, it's cool how this turned to this, how that turned to that, and just watching it and understanding how.
It almost doesn't make sense though when you think about the timeline. Like the shit that we're talking about with music, the evolution is like really clear.
Yeah.
But in evolution and science, it's like, well, we found this fossil and it's kind of similar.
It's like I went to Australia when I was in high school on some random scholarship shit, and it has nothing to do with music, but I went out there and it like really changed my life, and I was really like learning and thinking about shit like the tangent between like marsupials and other animals, like they're possums there and possums here, like in South America, like kind of like they never like met at all, but like there's similar like tangents in evolution. I'm just like,
is that some Pangea shit?
Pangea. Man, this bitch don't know about Pangea. Lil Dicky phrase. I love Lil Dicky. Comedy. So just to bring it in, so comedy is my thing. Like comedy and music. This is why I make memes. This is why all my flyers have some type of, not all of them, but most of my parties have some type of funny aspect to them. It's just silly. I don't take myself very seriously, but that's been a huge influence. So tying it into UK drill, man's not hot. Skitty boop bop bop. And this, I haven't done. I used to know that shit like sound by sound, whatever the fuck he says. But that shit had me dead. Oh my god. Speaking about UK drill shit, oh my god. Roadman Shack, Big Shack, and then he shoot the man's not hot. He's wearing a fucking coat in Miami and has like this is the most ridiculous one-liners of like, yo, I love this so fucking much. I loved it so much where like I took it seriously almost. I was just like, yes, this is fire, dude. And then like I said earlier, I love Lil Dicky. Same exact reason, just like comedy music, like it's dope.
Mark Ribolette.
Yo, yeah. Oh my god, he's fucking insane, dude. That dude just can improvise the shit out of anything.
I know, he's amazing. He's a gem.
Yeah. Aquafina for sure. She got some cool stuff. But yeah, I was always like super influenced by that stuff. And when I was in high school, prior to the Australia thing, I actually was for different classes. I somehow would figure out like for a project. I was like, yeah, my project, I'm actually gonna shoot a video, and I would make music videos. One for English class. We had some random assignment about you like pick a celebrity and do something, do a project on them. And I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna do a video, like my project mates, whatever. And I literally like made a beat, wrote a rap, shot the video, made my friends be in the video. It was the most difficult thing because none of them would listen.
I hope you got an A on that.
I got a C because apparently I missed the entire target of what it was about.
No, you were just like, I'm gonna make a sick video. I don't even care what the assignment's about.
And like, I got a C for effort. She's like, no, this is actually fire, but this has nothing to do with what we had to do in class.
She should have given you an A because as an adult, you see a kid doing that and you're like, yes.
Yeah.
Keep doing that.
Yeah. I did the same thing for Spanish class. It was just like, making like an instructional video on how to dance or how to bailar. And, man, that was crazy. I had all my friends who were dancers at the time. It was like senior year of high school. I had all my friends, like breakdancing friends in the metal scene. Like, we all did different same shit, same thing but different. But like, I made a fucking beat. I did a whole like voiceover thing, like a radio thing, and then all in Spanish. And then I showed different ways how they dance, like you dance in them, like in mosh pit, how you fucking break dance, how you dance to techno and shit like that. I think I'm hilarious, to be honest.
You're a funny guy, man.
That's the only thing that counts. Is if you think you're hilarious, that's all that matters in this life.
Yeah, like if you can make yourself laugh.
Yeah,
dude.
Exactly. So like, that's just how I approach almost everything, and like, it just comes full circle between the comedy, the music, the DIY, and just super smooth. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah. That sounds like a good little period to let's listen to another track. I know that this hasn't been focused on like,
oh no, we're still on track. So like, we were talking about 160 footwork and how the evolution of that, and I went back and talked about like my DIY roots of how like I did shit. Play Dream Eater.
Yo.
This is like my take on footwork, juke, and I guess I don't want to say it, but like low-key kind of dubsteppy. So like, it's weird, man, but we're here for it. And I've actually gotten a lot of love for this. I play this out at almost like every set I have an opportunity to do it. And it's kind of cool to see the different crowds react to it. Footworkers literally fucking busting down on it, having people fucking headbang to it. I was just like, you know, like I opened up for Gen Symmetry, at this party called Eagle Death by Andy Strobel. I didn't even know I was going to DJ at this party. I didn't even know I was direct support until like the hour before. Like, I was
so like, you got the USB. You're like, what?
He's like, I was like, yo, so like, what's the word? Like, what's the address? Do you have a flyer? And like, I didn't know anything. And I pulled up and it was Liddy. I was like, all right, cool. And like, he's playing some UKG bass line. I'm like, all right, I'm just going to just do my thing. I didn't even know what the genre was in the night. He's just like, do whatever you want. I'm like, all right, cool. So I sent it to like 160. I played this track, and then like a track later, it was my set was done, and then Gen Symmetry jumps on, and she's playing footwork, drum and bass. I was like, who is this? And I was just like, I realized who that was. I was just like, yo, this is lit. So people were headbanging there for that, and then footworkers just getting down to it. I just want to see where this track can go. Like, who the fuck gonna play this motherfucking track?
Yeah, let's run it.
Run it. I sampled Pokemon Red.
Yo, let's go.
The Pokemon cry for Hypno is actually one of the main sounds in this, and so like the song's called Dream Eater because that's the move. That's literally the move is Dream Eater. But it's like, to me, it just everything has a multiple meaning, and this is not my first time mixing two separate nerdy topics into one thing that I'm doing. So run that shit back.
I wish we had the spin back.
Yeah, I was gonna say reload that.
Maybe I'll add that.
You're here because you know something. What you know you can't explain, but you feel it. You felt it your entire life. That there's something wrong. You don't know what it is, but it's there, like a splinter in your mind, driving you mad. It is this feeling that has brought you to me. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, those scratches.
Shout out to Ray Rec for the vocal drop.
Hey. Did you record in those scratches? Because they were just
Yeah, that was me. Yeah.
hell yeah. That was my favorite part. Honestly. It was
Thank
sick.
you.
That's the noise that.
Yeah, bam, bam, bam. That's the. It's
Yeah.
two. Ba-na-na-na-na.
Oh yeah, that sounds fucking crazy,
Yeah.
dude. The people that made those sound effects are genius.
Yeah. Yeah. This is the most futuristic 90s song I've ever heard. This is literally like 1999 in a nutshell, but like in 2023.
Don't stop, don't stop, shake, don't stop, don't stop, don't stop, don't.
See, I would consider this like juke music right here. Like you're just juking, fucking shaking ass.
Yeah.
And then when we hit that halftime snare, it's more of like a footwork vibe.
Word.
Don't stop, don't stop, don't stop, come on, shake.
So I made this track in 2 days.
That's a heater.
No sleep.
Dude, what? That would make sense. You're probably like tripping by the
I
end
was
of it.
fucking high as balls. But in a good way, you know?
Nothing like sleep deprivation.
Sleep deprivation is your friend, my artists. I'm telling you.
Yep.
All my breast work is I'm cracked out, like no sleep. Not even high, just no sleep. But like you're so determined, like you start. I heavily believe in a dream state where your dreams get eaten, where you're like almost in a trance where you're so loopy. Like I remember drawing and practicing graffiti every night on a school night when I was in high school till like 2 a.m, 3 a.m, like tired as fuck, and then waking up at 6 to go to school, doing it all over again, being sleep deprived, like bags under my eyes, like they're not gone yet, but
Damn.
fucking that's when most of my creativity has happened, when I'm in that state. But then like when I'm older now, like I'm 31, dude. Like I had a day job, where I was like 6 in the morning to like fucking 4 or 5, and like I can't be doing that. So like, it's been difficult for that transition, but overall, I can definitely say like the loopiness does definitely help, but it's not a requirement. Don't kill yourself for your art, folks. But yeah, honestly, I was in a trance, like in a dream state, just like, all right, I had the main idea pretty much done. Most of my tracks that you're ever gonna hear start on my phone.
Like beatboxing.
Yeah, but oh no. So check it. There's this app called Groovebox created by created by Notion and Amplify, and basically it's an 8-track DAW on your phone. I'm just gonna show you guys real quick. I don't know if it'll pop up.
Load it. Yeah.
But it's got all these different modules you can turn on and off, and like different scenes and shit. And like it gets deep. Like you have like full on like sound design. Novation, sponsor me.
Shout out
No one's paying me. I hope they do. But like it's so dope. I paid like $15 to unlock all of them, and like it gets really nasty with the sound design. And like the cool part is it like, with me having ADHD and starting is always an issue. This it's not, because it's so structured, it's ready to go.
Yeah.
All the beats and shit they have in there, like the sound packs, all royalty free, so you can export them and use them. It actually has the Ableton Live export feature. You can export it as an ASL file.
No shit.
I throw that in my Akai Force, fuck with it, change things up, and then I sent that to Ableton for the final thing. And it's just this cool little ecosystem that starts anywhere I go. I really, I still do want it, the Akai MPC Live. MPC Live too.
Yeah.
So I can go anywhere with that.
Or the Ableton Push 3 type of deal? No.
Yeah. That's cool. But I already have an Akai Force, which is
That's
the
what
same,
you want.
same
Yeah.
thing. It's
Okay,
it already is standalone, and it also controls Ableton. So like, only thing I see Push having an advantage over Akai Force right now would be if they are allowing third-party plugins on the actual thing. Like
That would be crazy.
Serum, Massive, Silent Fall, that other shit. Fucking
Dude, that would be sick.
That
would take some time probably.
yeah, that's gonna be like how fucking Sony and fucking Marvel, Disney fucking stroke cocks every day. Like just trying to figure out a deal. It's gonna be one of those. But
yeah,
I'm a nerd. But I just think overall, having a way to start music, like I even have fucking a music DAW on my Nintendo Switch made by Korg.
Damn,
really?
It's called Korg Gadget, and it's cool because they have a lot of like video game synthesis in there, like sounds like from Namco specifically, and like I made some tracks in there. You can export them via QR code, and I was just
Dude,
like,
what? That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's so sick.
so like I kind of like have a bunch of stuff between the Force, my phone, that, and then like I have like random little fucking Walmart pianos sitting around. Like I always make sure it's out and it's ready to go because like inspiration just strikes whenever,
For sure.
So having this, I have like, when was 2018? How many years ago was that? 5 years? 4 years?
Yeah.
I've got 5 years worth of music on my phone and it's still relevant to today. And I literally just pick a track, flip it, and then put it in Ableton.
Hell yeah. That's crazy. I've used like chord programs. Like there's this one app called Suggester and it just gives you like every chord and you're just like it's like a tree of chords. Like you kind of go through and see what works with what. But yeah, like I used to just bounce that out as MIDI and use that for a while. Like it is nice. You can literally be taking a shit and like making a little
Dude, I have like
thing.
an ecosystem of fucking apps on my goddamn phone. Like the core,
The Korg actually has a bunch. They have like the Chaosillator on the phone, I think.
Oh yeah, dude, that and Moog actually has some stuff.
Or no,
too.
yeah, it's Moog. It's Moog.
The Model 15, they've got the Model D, they have Philotron, and then some other shit. Sometimes I use that, sometimes I don't, but like I'm so like streamlined with Groovebox, it doesn't really matter, and I do all the sound design either in the app or I'll do it in Serum. Sometimes the Akai Force, but like I usually just pick random sounds from that. Fucking
That's dope. I feel like you're the first dude that's like, yeah, the phone. That's like the real key for me.
I can show you like I can literally just I just want you to see the scroll.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's a lot of
Holy shit,
projects.
yeah.
Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah, dude, fucking.
Can you like get into one real quick and just hold it up to the mic? Like, is that possible?
Yeah, that's fine.
The true whip.
I want to. Yeah, this is like the most whip we've ever gotten. This is amazing. Oh,
All right. I gotta see what's one here. Well, what I do is like I'll screen record and like I'll turn on and off the modules, so it's like an actual live performance.
yeah.
And I'll just pick the different things the loops or little phrases that I've picked and turn them on and off. But I'll just play this full outright because I don't remember the template for this. But this is actually how I started a collab with somebody.
Damn.
Ooh, the chords. Ooh.
Yup. On the fucking phone, dude.
Dude, this is a heat. You need to export this ASAP.
This track is pretty much almost done. I played it out a few months ago and like it was cool. I actually added a vocal that I got from a meme on there, and I'm actually in a collaborate. I started the track and I stopped it. I was just like, I like where it's at, but I want to save it to collab with somebody. And so like I'll have something like, this is what I got so far, and I fuck with you, you fuck with me, and like I'll shop beats around and like, dude, I want this one, I want to fuck with you on this one. I'm like, all right, cool. So then I sent that to somebody and we'll see where it goes. But
Hell yeah.
it's literally like a 140 footwork R&B vibe going on or some shit, and I started that on my phone.
That's sick.
Yeah,
I
that's-
love
yeah.
that.
Yeah, I can't wait to put on a computer. It might change some sound. Sometimes this phone is good enough, like that that chord progression. I'll probably layer
Yeah,
that
the
in.
chord's great.
I'll probably layer that in Ableton with other sounds and make it fatter, like whatever it needs in the mix. But considering that we're listening over cell phone speakers and stuff like that, like I make it sound good on the cell phone speakers, but once you plug in the aux, sometimes
that's
like
kind of nice though. Like you make it sound good on the speakers because like, or on the cell phone speakers, like if you can hear the bass on the cell phone speakers, you're all right, here we go.
That's
like,
my priority. We want to hear bass on these cell phone speakers, because I've heard tracks where the sub bass is fat as shit and like it's
you can't hear it.
You can't hear it. You can't. I'm just like
I know. Yeah. Back to it. I wanted to also say that last track was like some Lavender Town vibes, and like
you got it.
Like also the melody of it, if we can as listeners think back to it, kind of sounded like the fucking like battle start where it's like just like kind of arpeggiated thing going on. That I was just thinking about that.
I have that track. That track literally started on my phone.
Really?
I want to show you like the bare bones full.
Oh man,
I'm trying to remember which one it is because there's so many. I feel like it's this one. No, I'm showing you too much shit now.
Not that one.
Not that one. Not that one either. Woo! Hold on, I got it here in. I was just in a message to somebody.
I gotta grease this up.
Yeah.
She's a little squeaky.
She's a little squeaky. She my little boo thing.
Put that in a Jersey Club tune right there.
She my little squeaky.
The bed
my
squeak.
boo thing. That literally, yo, you can.
Someone sample that.
So this is what I was talking about. Like, so I sent that track was actually supposed to be for a compilation, and they said this should probably go to a footwork label instead. And I was just like, okay, thanks. And I just kind of I don't know. We'll see
right
what
now
happens.
it's gonna be like a podcast exclusive,
Podcast
and we'll be like
vlog.
talking over it, so like you still don't get the full thing.
You'll never get the full track. But here's the actual screenshot of me physically playing this. I threw my logo over it and I sent it to somebody. So this is what it sounded like.
Oh, so like most of it,
Shit, yeah.
All the melodics, everything's pretty much on here.
the
Just
bells and stuff. That's
that was
all
the
just
original
straight.
idea. And then you can see, hold on, let me see here. I'm actually gonna just give this to you.
I feel like you just cracked the code for.
I'm just gonna
For
give this to
me.
you. I want you to watch this, like how it's done. The white ones are off.
No, we need to focus up.
Fuck it.
No, you just watch it. Check it out.
All right, so yeah, you're like turning things on and off. Oh shit. He's really going in.
Yeah.
Automating knobs and shit. I have different scenes on top up there, which are different phrases.
It's nice. It gives you like the little bit of feedback on what's playing too. Like,
Exactly, yeah.
and so like the engines of the synths and stuff are from Korg, so like they sound good, right?
Oh, this one's not the Korg one. This one's Novation.
Oh, this is Novation. I mean, still. Like,
Yeah. But like that's me editing all the filters.
So and that's in Groovebox?
Groovebox. Yeah, here, check this.
No shit.
That's wild. Oh shit, I'm caught. I'm caught. The bass that.
It just didn't have the Pokemon.
But dude,
sample.
honestly, the Pokemon sample is in key. Like, I don't know how much it got.
It is in
pitched.
key. So this song is in F minor, and that it was actually written in C. So most of those Pokemon samples are in C. And I was just like, oh,
It's interesting though to even hear the like when they come out of the Pokeball and they make their noise. Even that's like in a key. It could have just been like a random recording or something, but
Yeah.
they even thought about that. Wild. I watched.
that's
There's
fucking
this.
sick.
There's this YouTube channel called like 8-Bit Music Theory, and they have
Yes.
crazy videos, and like he goes over like the song structure of those, like enter battle mode. Like, the Elite Four one is so hard. Like,
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, it has. Oh,
it's like I don't know. Anyway, go look it up. Go look up Pokemon OST.
yes.
All right. So, in my fear that like we're gonna run out of space,
Yeah, I get you.
we've covered a lot of ground, which is great. But I will ask my wrap up question, which is, we talked about like some of your first concerts. We talked about a lot of concerts actually. This was concert centric because you throw shows and whatnot. But if we could think of the most like game changer concert for you that you went to, and it could be like the other day, like you could be like, wow, that made me change my game, or like could have been something from early on too.
Talking about a concert that I've seen.
You've seen, yeah.
Okay. Fuck.
It's kind of tough. You went over a lot of concerts, so I'm like, we might have already gotten it in there.
The game changer. The game changer for me. It was a local show, and this was like 10 plus years ago. It was called Hardcore Fever. My guy Marvin threw it. It was on the south side in this auto garage. It was cool to see metal bands with footwork DJs on the same bill, and metal bands would go DJ in between the changing of the bands, and then afterwards a full-on hood ass party where the goths and the fucking hood motherfuckers just linked up on some what up,
Like that was like
the merging of styles.
Yeah,
And I was
yeah.
just like,
that's a beautiful thing.
and that takes me to the Flores Negras thing, and it takes me to Empath, which is the band that I'm in. I currently DJ for. I do sound design, and I also
Oh yeah, you do like scratching too, and like it's some like DJ Han shit.
so like DJing, the first thing I wanted to do besides just like mix cool records like 8-Track was to also scratch like 8-Track. Fool's Gold Records is a huge imprint on me, and that man specifically is who I've modeled myself after, because hip-hop DJ, turntablist DJ turns into house DJ, producing house records and all this other shit under the sun. Fool's Gold Records comes out, they release Kid Cudi shit, and like, it's a mixing of hip-hop and like dance music, and that is who I wanted to be, and it's who I'm becoming almost, but within my own style, my own sense, mixing the harder shit with the dance music and everywhere in between. I'm quite literally doing turntablism, scratching. I learned under DJ INC, DJ Zebo, and also Jam 1.
Oh yeah, DJ Zebo.
Oh, Zebo. Shout out.
Saw Zebo at the Mid a million times.
Yeah, dude. Now you can catch them on, I think it's the last Thursday. Is it the last Thursday? The second Thursday of each month at Emporium, a drum and bass party, or a jungle party called Jungleistic. And shout out, he just had Pikachu on the flyer for the last one. Anyway, motherfucker. So him, INC, Jam 1 showed me all I really needed to know about scratching, and that's something I really, really wanted to do from the very start of me DJing. And it took me a while to get there, and the ADHD thing took over. I was just in the fucking studio. I actually took Zebo's class like 3-4 times, to the point where I didn't even need to be there anymore, because I was already proficient. I became the student teacher's assistant, and just to have access to the 1200s and shit, just keep practicing. And that's been something not a lot of people know about, because I don't really do that in my regular DJ sets. There's too much other shit going on, unless I'm able to have 3 decks, which at Primary I did, and that mix has actually been recorded and should be coming out soon. But I don't usually do it because there's not more than 2 decks. So with Empath, I only have 1 deck. I only need to scratch. And I bring 2 decks to the events now, but I only need 1 deck. And I'll scratch different samples into what they've got going on, and it's just heavy metal screaming, fucking, and it's just me going all day. And Now
You could just get a mic.
They just gave me a mic, and now I'm actually screaming while scratching, like low guttural screams, high pitched
Whoa,
screams.
that sounds crazy. I need to see that.
Yeah, I didn't warm up my voice for that, so that's not happening today. But come check us out, Endpath. It's ENDPATH. Endpath, n-path.com if you're interested in the website.
Word.
Find us TikTok, fucking IG. But with them, I get to fully explore this weird side of myself where like the emo kid comes out, I'm screaming, and then also at the same time I'm cutting shit up, and like that's some weird shit, dog, but it pops. People love us. And between that concert that changed my life, Hardcore Fever, which started this idea of like merging metal and dance music, with Flotas Negras merging, you know, fucking metal, dance music, and cumbias, and like techno, all this shit, and then now taking it and juke music and taking it further to like my own lane now, where it's like we're just doing rap, rock, house music, and this motherfucker's scratching.
Crazy.
Like fuck
That's
it,
dope.
let's just do it all, dude.
Hell yeah.
Fuck a genre, fuck a scene, fuck the snobs, just do you, baby.
Yeah, hell yeah. Where can people like what's like the next Super Smooth show?
June 30th.
Oh, yeah.
Wicker Park Emporium.
Yep.
We got Ray Rec from No Bias, Oakland, California, coming through. It's gonna be a great show.
What's something further out too, because I don't know when this is gonna come out. Like I don't know.
July 14th, we're at Sub T. We've got headliner AC Rare Breed, Super Smooth Crew. Party actually doesn't even have a name yet, but soon, July 14th.
Word. Hell
sir.
Yeah. Sick. Real quick, also, what's like the year goal for Super Smooth? Do you have one?
Ooh, we were actually only supposed to do 4 parties this year. We're 1, 2, 3. We've got like 6 plans already, but end of year goal, something that I really want to happen for Super Smooth is I want to throw the nastiest collaboration with at least 2 other crews for a New Year's Eve event. Yeah. The winter was very difficult for us last year. I couldn't lock down venues for shit, and like it just wasn't working. So we switched over to Twitch for our monthly streams, Friends with Benefits. And that shit kind of blew up, to be honest. I was like, oh shit. And now that we're back in our grind and we got shit popping off again, we got walls for you guys. I want to push that as far as I can, and we usually bring out about 150 people to these events. I want to throw something a little bit bigger than that. I want to see if we can bring in like 500 people, 1,000 people.
Damn.
I want to see how far we can push this. And I know people are out here doing it, and people were willing to share that vision with us and make it something special. So that's really pretty much what I have right now. In terms of physical sense, Super Smooth as a brand by the end of the year, oh baby, I want to take Super Smooth on the road. I want to take us to every city across America and turn that bitch up the way we do here.
Hell yeah.
That should be fun, and those seeds have already been planted, and we'll see when that next announcement is, but we're going west, baby.
Nice. Dude, hell yeah. I want to go to that New Year event.
Yes, sir. It's gonna be the most competitive night of the year, probably.
It's a competitive night, but
fuck the bars though. Fuck going out, dude. You're going to fucking dance and have fun.
Last New Year's,
that's what I want to do.
I went to go see the homies over at Signal Clearance. They brought in INVT from like Miami, like reggaeton, footwork, techno shit, and it was just like this underground shit. It's the highlight of the year so far. Like I started that shit, I was completely wasted listening to all these different genres being played, and like it's hard and fucking it's weird. I'm just like, yes, this is where I belong, despite who wants me other places or whatever. Like you just can't let people influence what you do. You need to know where you need to be, and the way to figure that out is kind of trying different things and seeing where you fit in, where you don't. And that's where I belong.
Hell yeah, dude. Dude, well, thank you so much for coming through, man. This has been a blast.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you. Check me out, Initial G Music on IG, TikTok, and Super Smooth, same thing. The word Super Smooth spelled SHMOVE. Supersmooth.com. We got events popping. Slide through.
Can we get a little like outro, like skibbity bop?
Oh yeah, let's go.
Yes, buddy. All right, thank you, dude. Appreciate you. Fuck yeah.
One joint later.